Hello, Savage family. Hope everybody's doing well. It is a Wednesday at 9:25 p.m. Just making my way through a bunch of client check-ins. I'm just going to turn up the volume a little bit. Just making my way through a bunch of client check-ins. Finishing off the last ones, the client check-ins rather. I'm tired. And starting to work on our programs for this coming weekend. Also been doing some work on the new Savage and Six site, just to kind of clear things up and make things a little bit easier to register and completely changed everything really. So it's been busy, guys. I finally got through all the stuff from the weekend and just correspondence, then correspondence to correspondence, and then correspondence to correspondence. But it's all good. It's like it's awesome. First, like I said, the first check-in always takes a little bit just to get everybody coordinated and settled, and then usually for the first couple of check-ins, a couple of little tweaks to the meal plan here or there, and then everybody's up and running. So it was really good first week for check-ins. Super happy and super impressed with all the effort you guys put in. I wanted to have a little chat with you guys today, and we're going to move into talking about micronutrients and stuff like that a little bit more in depth in the near future. But I wanted to talk about the one thing that I always get asked the most. What is the thing that I get asked the most? I always get asked, Matt, does X and X supplement work? And it's often kind of the same answer, and I'm going to prove it to you guys tonight. Because I'm going to do a bunch of research. I'm going to post a bunch of articles kind of about absorption and a bunch of other topics that we're going to cover really quickly in this video. I'm also going to put up a Zoom call for tomorrow. I think sending a travel with the girls. I think we've just got to spend the $15.99 or whatever it is for a monthly subscription, which is a pretty easy deal to be able to talk to you guys. So we're going to be setting up another Zoom call soon. I want to get into that. But I also wanted to talk to you guys. So a lot of you guys will ask, Matt, do supplements work? Or, you know what I mean? I think like the first thing that I want to say is that supplements are exactly that. They're supplements. So they're meant to be supplemental, right? Um, I talk a lot about vitamins and vitamin absorption. I recommend that each and every one of you goes out and gets a really good multivitamin. The one that I recommend is All Max. Animal Stack is really good. There's one that's actually done by Arnold Schwarzenegger's brand that's really good. But basically, you want to go out and you want to get a full-fledged multivitamin. And then I get asked the question often. I really believe that's beneficial, and I'm going to explain why. And I often get asked the question like, Matt, well, I've read a lot of articles about the absorption, and apparently the absorption of these multivitamins and these minerals that we're taking is so insignificant, blah 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 blah. Sorry, not blah 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 blah, because it's a perfectly valid argument, and that's kind of what a lot of the reasoning and a lot of the validity behind the whole to supplement or not to supplement debate kind of comes from. Um, a lot of the way that we consume these supplements and how we consume these supplements is directly affected by a lot of different things, genetics, um, the way that our body is functioning, how hydrated we are. There's a multitude of different variables that affect how we absorb supplements. And when it comes to supplement absorption, what the general consensus is that the best way to get your supplements is from real food. However, I do want to caution, and I do want to talk about this a little bit in the sense that if you were to get every recommended micronutrient, macronutrient, um, phytonutrient, antioxidant, and everything else underneath the sun from natural food, you would be eating pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of natural food. And while the general consensus is that absorption rates for natural food are significantly higher than the absorption rates for supplements, which I tend to agree, I think the general rule is this: food first, always food first. And the reason for that is food contains digestive enzymes, which allows your body to better process the nutrients. And food has a lot of amino acids and a lot more complete proteins. If you're just having a simple scoop of protein powder, it's not necessarily a complete protein, because it lacks a lot of vitamins, minerals, and digestive enzymes that real food actually has. So The kind of the age-old answer that I always give is this. Real food is always going to be first and foremost your source. But I always say this as well. If if you only absorb, and this is, I'm just throwing out numbers, arbitrary numbers. If you only absorb, let's say you take one of these big multivitamin packs and you only absorb, let's say you absorb 20% of that multivitamin pack, because our absorption rates are not that good, and maybe, genetically speaking, or you're not hydrated enough, or whatever it might be. Your absorption rate of that multivitamin pack is 10%. Well, I would say that's 10% more of the multivitamins that you had in your system prior to taking that pack. Real food is always going to be the best source for nutrition. It's always going to be that way. But there's certain things that are only available in supplements, that you might have to eat a lot of in order to get through your nutrition. There's a lot of, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of valid reasons to take supplements, but there's also a lot of absolute crap out there that does nothing for you. And deciphering the how, what, why, where, when is, as I'm kind of always talking about, it's a consistent evolving science, right? New research emerges all the time. The latest thing that I've been kind of reading is that protein powder is better taken with food itself, and that's strictly because food contains digestive enzymes and other things that complete the digestive process. So it actually makes it better for you to digest. There are lots of supplements out there that, in my opinion, are absolutely useless. And I think that the ones that I kind of recommended at the start are a pretty good base. Your protein powder. I take a pre-workout. If you're inclined to take a pre-workout, that's good to have. I highly recommend you get a multivitamin pack. Um, I think it's just a good bet. Branched chain amino acids, um, as well as a little bit of glutamine to help your muscles when they're sore. And out there, you will find hundreds of articles on how effective these things are, and you will find hundreds of articles stating that they are completely ineffective. And as I was kind of talked about before, I guess the best way to really monitor all this is to do tests with yourself, because certain things are going to work for certain people that may not work for other people. For me, for example, I notice a huge difference when I take branched chain amino acids when I train as opposed to when I don't. And if you go out there and you look at the literature, a lot of it's going to say branched chain amino acids, super effective. They're incredible. They do a ton of things. And a lot of the other literature, and all of which are backed by studies, the other literature is going to come out and say, no, they do absolutely nothing for you. So I guess it's what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to using supplements, it's good to have a little bit of healthy cynicism, for those supplements. And the best way to really figure out whether or not a supplement is right for you or whether you should be taking a supplement is simply by examining how you feel, how your energy levels are, how your performance is with it versus how you feel, how your energy levels are, how you feel your performance is without it. It's kind of a basic rule of just about anything in life, right? If it works and you get an advantage from it, even if that is an advantage which is created strictly in your brain, otherwise known as the placebo effect, that's still an advantage. And then you have to figure out how large is that advantage? Do I think that that works for me? There's a lot of really, really good supplements out there that I do recommend taking. Stuff like the phytoplankton, veggie greens, and stuff like that. And everything kind of has its own reasons. And, I think I'm going to get a little bit more into supplements, micronutrients, macronutrients, and stuff as the challenge progresses. But I guess I wanted to take a few seconds before we even touched any of that to just chat with you guys and let you know that there's a whole bunch of research out there on the efficiency of supplements. I find certain supplements are extremely efficient. I also find some are complete junk. There's a lot of different reasons for publishing these studies. And what's necessarily accurate? Well, you have to take anything that you find that says that these supplements are bad for you and give that some serious weight. You have to look at some of the research behind that. You don't want to do any negative self-harm through supplement use. So you've got to understand what the potential consequences are and what the potential effects are and weigh those together like a normal human being. But ultimately, what's really going to be dictated in your supplement use is the amount of utility, which is an economic term that I learned in university. Bringing the microeconomics out. Anyway, that was useful. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is you got to figure out what you're getting out of these supplements. Do you find you have more energy with them? Do you find you have more energy without them? It's become a massive industry. There's a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of crap out there that's paid for people who want you to buy their stuff. So you have to use a little bit of healthy skepticism. But I would say overall that there are some supplements out there. The odd thing is that I had a gentleman cross through here, and his name was Kane. And Kane said to me, Matt, I don't want to use supplements. I don't want to use protein powder. I don't do pre-workout. Like Kane is a good guy and he's a little bit more natural. And if you look back in some of the progress photos, you'll find out Kane absolutely destroyed this challenge. I mean, he didn't use any protein powder. He didn't use any pre-workout. He didn't use anything. He just came in and he put in the work and he did it. So, do you need supplements? No. Do I think that they're beneficial? I think certain supplements are extremely beneficial, and some of those supplements are supplements that I talked to you guys about. Things that affect supplements in particular is the absorption rates. I think that if you're going to take supplements, one thing that I'm reading a lot about right now is to take it with an actual meal, whether that's protein powder or whether that's vitamins, whatever else. What I'm kind of reading a lot of and what I'm diving a lot into, and I'll never say that this is the right way or this is the wrong way, is that taking your supplements, particularly protein and vitamins with real food, can actually give you a metabolic and digestive boost. So at the end of the day, if you have any questions about any specific supplements, and I get this all the time, I constantly get guys sending me this, hey Matt, is this crap? Is this good? What do you think? What do you think? I'm also going to post a supplements rating site, which does some supplement ratings on supplements below in the comments. And that's based primarily on how truthful they are. So that's something that you need to remember, not necessarily how good the product is, but do they spike their protein with amino acids to increase the fake protein profile? Is what's inside of here actually what's inside of here? Do they use natural ingredients? Do they use artificial sweeteners? Do they use preservatives? And that's another thing that we'll talk a little bit more about as well. A lot of these supplements have artificial sweeteners. They may not have sugar, but they have artificial sweeteners. And we're going to get into inflammation a little bit later on. And inflammation is the enemy. Primary source of inflammation in the human body is, interestingly enough, sugar. It's not the carbohydrates. This is what they're finding out. It's not the carbohydrates. It's not the fat. It's not, it's not the eggs. It's not although red meat, varying science out, we'll talk about that too. But what they're finding is that sugar is the number one cause of inflammation in your body, and ultimately the number one cause of sickness, disease, and problems. So, before I go off on a tangent on that, I guess what I was trying to say is that a lot of these things do have artificial sweeteners, and artificial sweeteners have also been shown to increase inflammation. So it's really a cause and effect, and a matter of how much utility are you getting out of that versus how much money are you spending on it? Are there any negative side effects? If you have any questions on supplements, I would love to be able to help you guys out. I can give you my personal opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician, although I wish I was. I probably would have studied endocrinology because I find it super fascinating. We have a couple of physicians who are watching, who are doing the project with us, who've done it for a few times. So they may be able to answer in a little bit more in depth some questions on supplements. But I guess what I'm trying to say is supplements can be good. They are not a supplement for real food. Do your own research, know the risks of what you're taking, read all sides of the story, and have a little bit of healthy skepticism. But in my personal opinion, supplements can be effective. But there is a lot of shit out there that you need to watch out for. So that's all I wanted to say to you guys today. I'm going to start launching a bunch more videos. I finally got through all the bulk of work, and now I'm working on some new programs. I'm working on the next Savage and Six program. I'm working on websites. I'm still trying to stay in shape and go out and smash my workouts. I smashed one out today. I'm starting to upload new videos into the app kind of day by day. I'm just going to do a couple where I'm actually going to be demonstrating the videos. So a ton of new things coming. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. Thanks so much for everybody and all the work they put into their check-ins. Love you guys. I hope everything's going good. And if you need anything, I'm just a message away. So keep killing those workouts. We're already at Wednesday. We're already a week and a half into this thing. This thing is going to fly. And you guys got some insane results already. So I'm just super excited to see what the next week is going to go. If you have any suggestions for videos, please leave them below, because I would love to do. I love it when guys give me ideas for videos. I promise you I will execute them. Other than that, have an awesome night. Keep training hard, and I will see you guys soon. Ciao for now. Bye.